All right, y'all. Let's go. Let's get into it. Listen, you guys weren't supposed to know this, but I'm gonna let you guys know this. I already did this whole shit. All right, but the audio got messed up, so now I'm redoing it. But it's okay. I'm keeping the same energy. I'm excited. Let's get it, bro. Top 10 point guards in the NBA. This is probably the list that you know most people are are uh, are excited for or looking at. We are kind of in a point guard, quote unquote, dominated league. Real quick though, even though I'm doing a top 10 per position, I'm one of those people that believe that the game of basketball is positionless. We have 7 footers handling the ball, um, on some glitchy shit, but just like I said, for content purposes, um, this is what we're doing. And another quick, just a disclaimer. So basically, just to remain consistent. I'm basing everything off of basketballreference.com. Shout out Basketball Reference, yo. You guys, want to sponsor your boy? I could definitely, make you guys a T-shirt or some shit. Wear the T-shirt. People see the T-shirt. I know how the game works. Don't worry. But no, for real. Um, Listen, top 10 point guards in the NBA. This is gonna be controversial. I know this is my opinion, but my opinions are usually facts, though. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I think about it right now, like I'm thinking about it, and like my opinion is like not even an opinion. Like, it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, on God. So like I said, I'm doing this again. I kind of like that because I can kind of go back and fix certain things. So let's go. I'm gonna do, so we got top 10, and I'm gonna do an honorable mention. Before last time I threw in like 4 point guards in the honorable mention, but I'm not doing that anymore. Like, it's just a headache, to be honest. So basically giving you guys 11 players, my top 10 in the league. Let's go. Honorable mention. And this one, I didn't expect it to get, like, I knew this was going to be hard, but I didn't expect it to be this hard this quick. Okay? So, my number 10, my honorable mention for point guard is Chris Paul, the CP3, the point guard. Now, Chris Paul could have easily been 10, and I wanted to put him at 10. You know, so basically, what really separated Chris Paul from my number 10 pick, and my number 10 pick, I'm going to tell you right now, is Kyle Lowry. Yes, sir, Kyle Lowry. Now, I kind of like that I'm bringing up Kyle Lowry because really this is really close, and I can't really be mad if anybody has Chris Paul over Kyle Lowry here. Really, it just comes down to they both, because they're both on teams that have overachieved. Okay, now, like, Kyle Lowry's coming off a ring. He's coming off a ring. He just won the chip, and to say that he's overachieved, that really speaks. There's context that needs to be there, obviously. Kawhi left. That's really, Kawhi left the city high and dry. People were completely writing off the the Raptors, and really, I got to give credit. At 34 years old, Kyle Lowry went from scoring 14 points per game to basically 20. Excuse me. He really stepped up. He took on the scoring load that he needed to. And Kyle Lowry, he's always been a bulldog on defense. And not to say Chris Paul is also been, one of the best defenders at his position. And he's another one that, has stepped up. He went from being, the sidekick in Houston. Really not even sidekick isn't even the right word. Pretty much the scapegoat, Chris Paul, he really had that negative, attachment to his name. Because basically, Harden basically kicked him out of Houston. He went to the Thunder, just seemingly a random team. People thought that they were just gonna sit Chris Paul and use him as a trade bait, but they played him, and he's done what Chris Paul does, and really I feel like what's kind of hindered him has been he's on a team that basically already has two other point guards. Like, he's on a team with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Hamilton the 15th and Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder, my bad. So yeah, like I said, it's very close, and I just think what separates them, besides like the hardcore stats, and in the hardcore stats, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry's averaging 2 more points per game, averaging 1 more assist per game. The rebounds basically the same, shooting slightly less percent from 3, but he is shooting significantly less percent from the field. So Chris Paul is more efficient, and that's like I said, that's not something to scoff at, and it's pretty significant. Like 7% efficiency is just the fact that Kyle Lowry has stepped up so much in his 13th year in the league to really try to help that Raptors team, like I said, overachieve and be one of the better teams in the NBA. So right now, that's my reasoning for putting Lowry over Chris Paul. It was tough. It was really tough. But yeah, on to number 9. Number 9, the snitch himself, Tekashi 6ix9ine. D'Angelo Russell. D'Lo. Nah, I'm fucking with D'Lo. I fuck with D'Lo heavy. D'Angelo is a player that I also feel like kind of has some negativity around his name. Anytime a player gets moved a lot in a short period of time, there's always gonna be like, whoa, hold up, like, what's wrong with this kid? He's been on 3 different teams in basically the past year and a half, from Brooklyn to the Warriors to the Timberwolves, and it really did. It looked like he found a nice little home on the Nets, and it's really unfortunate that realistically he fell victim to the drama that is Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors. That's because that's really what it came down to. He became an all-star on the Nets, and it was looking like he was gonna be the face of that franchise. And then the Warriors happened, and Kevin Durant got his rings. Like I'm not even gonna get into the Kevin Durant before I get mad. Got his rings, stole them from LeBron, and then basically just left the Warriors high and dry, and went to the Nets, and basically they just switched teams. And he went from a good situation, and it's not like Brooklyn. It's not even like Brooklyn was a good team. It was just a really good fit for D'Angelo, to a situation where Clay was hurt, gonna be out the whole year. Draymond just finished, running like 4 straight finals. His big ass was like, it was only a matter of time before he gets hurt. And we know Steph, and he's practically made out of glass. So like D'Angelo comes into a situation where it's like, okay, like it's a new team, and then they just throw him the keys, and he is like, hey, go, like win games. And D'Angelo's like, come on, he's not that player yet. He's still only 23, 24 years old. Like, kid is still young. You can't expect him to do that. And so he got traded to Minnesota. And honestly, I like that for him. You know, Minnesota's a team. He's with his boy. I know him and Cat are boys. I'm a really, really big fan of Malik Beasley. Shout out Malik. I have him in fantasy. As soon as he got traded to Minnesota, picked him up, immediately balled out. I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, speaking of fantasy, let me know if you guys want to like hear about like fantasy picks and all that shit. I might, we could do like a fantasy series and all that shit, but getting ahead of ourselves. Let's keep going. But nah, bro, let's talk about D'Lo. He's in a good situation now. I'm excited to watch the Timberwolves play. I feel like they have a nice, young, exciting team. He's averaging 23 points, 6 assists. Don't really know much more to say. Let's move on to my number 10, 9, 8 player in the point guard in the NBA, Benjamin Simmons. Well, I didn't even know his real name was actually Benjamin. All right, Ben Simmons. I know there's a meme. There's all these memes about Ben Simmons and the man can't shoot, and he can't. He can't shoot. Now, I, for one, think Ben Simmons will, eventually add the 3-pointer to his game. And when he does, he's gonna be, he's gonna probably be the best player in the league. Honestly, he's gonna be on that same Giannis, Kevin Durant level, because he's already the defender of Giannis. You know what I mean? He has the ball handling skills of basically Kevin Durant, and I think he's even you could argue he's a better ball handler than Kevin Durant. We already know the passing ability is better than those two. With Ben, that's really the only thing holding him back. He's 6'10". You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, he's on a good team. Realistically, he should be higher on this list. He should be. But like I said, the injuries, and he, ever since his rookie season, he's been healthy, and I'm glad to see that. It's just the skill set offensively needs to improve. His overall shooting ability needs to improve, and I promise you, he's gonna get the respect he deserves. And Ben he's a hard player to rank, because you could easily have him, top 5 just off sheer talent. Like, the kid is talented, but trying to judge it objectively is tough. But I think 8 is where he's at. You know what I mean? And look, like I said, I'm not judging based off team success, bro. Because if I was, he'd be in the top 3 or top 4, maybe even. It's not about the team success. I'm looking at the players compared to other players, And I feel like this is fair for him. But yeah, no, solid player. Now, this is a point where some of you could get mad at me here. Some of you guys could get mad at me here. We have my number 7 point guard in the league, Russell Westbrook. Westbrook, number 7. And I know, bro, listen, I'm a huge Westbrook fan. The man averaged a triple-double in 15 years in a row. Shit,